Hi. Yeah, I've got poor time management and may have been, running around doing all sorts of setup just before hitting the button just now. So if you hear me panting or out of breath, pay no mind to that. It's absolutely nothing. You're just imagining it. But yeah, you don't become a werewolf by, being good with time management. That's all that's a lot of the where is where the hell am I? How did I get here? And was I supposed to be somewhere else? Probably. And then the fun is figuring out where you need to be and getting there on time. And um, well, on time is a challenge I still struggle with. But yeah, welcome on in. I know this is it's an off stream because the holidays throw all the calendars off. Hey Rail, welcome on in. It's new Desi time, same Desi channel. It's only temporary. Eh, Next year I might end up streaming on Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. It depends on where my family ends up being because the current plan is they're going to move out of states sometime in 2025. And thank you. I missed you guys too. I really enjoy being here and seeing you guys. Um, but yeah, the plan is that they're going to move to Michigan next, like sometime in 2025, which is going to make, doing trips for the holidays a little more of a production. uh, I You know what? I don't know how they would feel about Florida. Hmm. Most of my family is pretty conservative. They probably would fit right into Florida, honestly. Uh, I'm the odd one out. The black sheep of the family, in spite of being a white wolf. But yeah, they want to move to Michigan. But yeah, and that's like I could do that, but it wouldn't be a day trip thing that I could anymore like I can do now, where it's like only about 2 hours each way to drive. Like Michigan is like I'd spend most of the business hours of the day driving, just one way. Parts of Florida aren't that bad, sure. The weather in Florida is a big reason for me not to visit. It's a challenge. Florida is like you should see what my hair alone does on humidity. Imagine like an entire floofy werewolf suffering humidity. I would just look like this weird curly tumbleweed just rolling down the road. It's not pretty. Yes, traffic in parts, yes, especially around that central Florida area with like the Orlando mega sprawl from coast to coast. It's not fair to call that Orlando's mega sprawl. It's just Orlando's the bridge in between both coasts of Florida. So for where the cities are there. Yeah, there are parts. Um, blah 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 blah. Orlampa. Does that would that be Orlampa Beach? Coco Orlampa? Something like that. Oh, the very last thing I did before hitting the switchover button just now was get something to drink. It was the one thing I realized I forgot. Jack's Orlampa, soon to be. Huh. Oh, Jacksonville. Yes, yes, yes. The X threw me off. Mm. But yeah, how was your guys' holidays? I hope I know it's a very different experience for all of you. You each have your own like traditions and family scatterings and different vibes as well. So I'm hoping that however you celebrated it, it was and is in some cases, pretty hopefully chill, not particularly stressful. Like it's stressful enough just trying to keep up with everything that you need to do, um, which is actually where most of my stress comes from this time of year. It's the schedule. But yeah, once you're actually at the place you need to be. Hopefully it's been chill. It was chill. Mom still didn't want to do traditional this year, but it was nice. Cooked out. Cookout's great. You could cook out up here, but you got to be a bit hardy for it. A lot of people tend to cringe inside. But my family, like, we have no problem manning the grill in like 4 to 5 feet of snow. So the grill keeps, you know, the grill clears the snow out from around it once you fire it up. And it's a warm place to hang out. And it's got the food. Got to walk the cemetery and visit Dad. Yeah. Most of my family, for those kind of visitations, isn't nearby. They require some field trips, definitely, to go see them. So, and actually, like, yeah, my father is in Michigan for that purpose, so that's part of the reason Mom wants to move there, and my aunt is going with her sister. So, I actually, you know what? I could chat forever, so maybe I should launch into something, and then I can chat while playing. Today I was pondering something, you know, that could be kind of just done as like within the stream. So, the two things that off the top of my head that seemed convenient were I could do like the winter map that's in PowerWash Simulator, or I could do the seasonal employee DLC for Home Safety Hotline. So I'm leaning toward PowerWash Simulator, but I'm open for a vote if people are interested in chatting it out. They're both going to get done at some point eventually, so yeah, I already got Ray's opinion. So yeah, this is the only 3 local. My other grandparents are up in Bushnell, Terry Cemetery. Yeah, it's a bit of a hike. Same family plots in VA and PA. Yeah, Virginia and Pennsylvania are definitely a bit of a hike for you. Like, I could hit Pennsylvania myself in a day trip. I wouldn't make a day trip out of Virginia unless I was feeling particularly on point that day. Do you feel more than before? I might start with PowerWash Sim and just go from there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to just grind through map after map in PowerWash Sim. I'll start with the one wintry one, and we'll see where we are at and so on. And I need to be good about paying attention to the time today. Yeah, it's good for a chill start and get the chatting through as well, because there's not a lot of lore to focus on there. It's just do. I also have to pay attention to my time today. I do have to make sure I end on time, because I need to pick up Ojika from the airport after stream. I don't want him hanging out there just because I couldn't read a clock. So yeah, let's edit the stream info. We'll keep the title the same. I'm just going to change the game category. Power Washing Simulatorium. Yeah. Done. Alright. And let's actually launch the game that I'm saying that I'm playing. And also put this over here. What time do you have to end? I need to do my best to wrap up at 11 Eastern US time, 11 p.m. So, because Ojika should be ready for pickup around 11, like 11:30ish, 11:40, and I got to be able to get to the airport to be able to, so I need that time in there as well. Thank you. I also let Ryu know the time, so, but it's good to have 2 people there watching in case Ryu has to step away for anything. All right. You know, PowerWash Sim doesn't have its own music, so I should probably keep this going. Yeah. So let me instead just switch over to manually, because I don't have a button for this properly yet. Oh, and I also need to tell OBS where the window is. There you go. Nice. All right. And let's also turn on this thing. There, so you guys can see what's playing in the corner. I've just got it on Walking Dog for now. Dozy and chill. That's what every time with me is. It's always chill. You know, when work and schedules aren't involved. When there's a schedule involved, then the chill is compromised. It's 7:09. Yeah, we already turned the clocks back once. You can't do it again. The next movement for the clock is what's the word? Advancing, springing ahead. I wish we would stop that, honestly. Seasonal adventures. So, oh, there is a Santa's workshop. That was last year. And I never did it. Yeah, let's start with Santa. Let's clean up his mess, whatever the hell happened there. Probably a paintball disaster looking at the thumbnail. And then we can work our way out to the rink as time permits. Spring forward. Yes. From French Bob. Thank goodness there's someone on Santa's list who's really good at power washing and keeping secrets. Yeah, it's easy to keep a secret. I'm too lazy to tell people stuff. It's exactly what we need right now. As you can probably gather, Santa's workshop has seen better days. Every day before yesterday, in fact. Wow. In other words, they've never cleaned this place, is what he's saying. Since yesterday, it's become coated in a mixture of soot and the gloopiest, stickiest, most delicious mess ever. If this weren't Santa's... If this were the stable, that'd be a little more suspicious. But it's in the workshop. With only one sleep left till Christmas and still so much to do, we're needing our very own Christmas miracle. Krampus got in. Krampus got in and he was excited to be in. All right. So we've got a lot to do. Man, look at that. All right. Let's just jump in and see what's there. I have a lot of extra content I've not done for the game because I did it and then a lot of oh my goodness. A lot of DLC. I see. I very much see. Like, some of this is so horrid that, like, it's even pixelated. Okay. Let's start with some good defaults. Just some stuff up close. Yeah, that's good. So I do have everything unlocked because I have finished the base game. This is just DLC. So, like, I won't have to struggle too much. Like, nothing should be a fight on this map for me. Which means I could focus on yammering. Wow. I wonder if there are achievements for... I can always redo the map if there's an achievement to get. It was Christmas Eve, a night we look forward to for one special reason. Actually, let's make this wider. Dozy, yammering, never. Just a lot of yeah, nothing like that. It's the night that our inventor, Ivornidia, pitches next year's star toy to Santa. Ivornidia? Oh, I have an idea. Makes sense. I have an idea. However, this year, Ivor was told to carry them through to Santa's office in a big box to stop any peaks. We knew they had to be really good, which means someone wanted to have a peek. Really? Oops. Why is this door handle fighting me? Oh, interesting. The arrival of the Polar Express. Oh, I like my reason. Yeah. Man, I really hope the Polar Express didn't come plowing through the workshop. The doors are still on their hinges, so that's a good sign that that's probably not what happened. I do recall that train doing a wee bit of skidding about on the ice. Anyway. Oh, this is also the employee entrance, so employee. So, yeah, if there was a train that came plowing through, it probably would have been like a main entrance instead. Oh, no, that's the employee entrance. This thing here. Let me see. Okay. This one's going to be fiddly, I see. Usually those things don't give you so much fuss. Anyway, what was I thinking? So yeah, yeah. What? Let's see. We did some of that. Yeah. This just before leaving my parents. Ice is not for any kind of vehicle. Well, not fun for. Well, ice is fun for an icebreaker, if you count those ships as vehicles, which I think many people probably would. Ray, did I use the term right? Is an icebreaker a ship? It's not just a boat. I mean, you're not wrong. I try not to be wrong. Yes, excellent. Ray, you was schooling me on the difference between a ship and a boat the other day. But he gave me an easy out, which he probably shouldn't have, and that if no one's going to be upset if I call something a ship as opposed to calling it a boat, so I could just default to ship and probably only get like the occasional sideways look. I don't know about nerd, but he can answer for himself. Let's see. I don't really have much method to the madness of this game. I'll try and focus some things down, but then sometimes I just kind of wander off into a direction. Yeah, he was in the spicy boat professional services is what Ryu used to do. Spicy boats. Oh, sorry, spicy ship. Some of them are boats, I'm sure of it. You tell the Navy that any of their stuff is a boat, and they'll probably see some of them start whipping out their cock measuring rulers. I like the I appreciate the pun. The dad jokes will flow. I've actually heard that some service members, whether they are current service members or veterans retired from whatever their branch was, some of them sometimes get a little. Is there a way I can get this right? Some of them feel odd about that phrase, "Thank you for your service." But they won't ever, they'll never, call anyone out on it because, like, it's always when someone says it's always meant well. Elf boots. Why'd they take their boot? Oh, I guess these aren't really outdoor boots. Maybe these are just workshop boots. Kind of like having indoor slippers versus outdoor boots. Radioman. It's a medic. Oh man. Working in a medical setting, especially a military one, is a stressful job. Being a medical personnel on a ship must be a particularly difficult challenge due to inventory limitations, as well as, being in essentially confined quarters for a long time. You get to. I wonder if there are like if the medics on ships actually like have different specializations. Like some focus on physical health and some focus on medical health or mental health instead. For the sea madness. Whenever I hear Radio Man, I think of Sonar from Oz. Same major field, different minor, close though. Nice. Okay. Oh man, there's lots of stuff hiding. Can I? Yes. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. Okay. Those are done. There we go. Let's see. Santa's hat is done, as is his coat, as are his boots. What do I care? They're gonna tell me what I've missed eventually, once I get toward the end. So I'll do what I think makes sense, and we'll come back and find what little bits of schmutz I may have missed later. So, my mom and my aunt, they are aware that I am streaming. Like, I was open with them about that. I can never recall if I've ever been open with them about you know, being less than human. So, we'll see. But, yeah, I think, yeah, they know my name as well, that I'm going by, so we'll see if they eventually figure out how to watch a stream if they ever get up the gumption to do so. I kind of don't expect that will ever happen. That's cute. Because, yeah, those are done. Like, for example, my aunt, I had to do some of the Amazon shopping for her because she didn't have her own account and only is now figuring out like how to get that set up. So not particularly expecting her to appear on Twitch one day. And I don't know. I don't know if my mother actually has any interest in checking it out, but we'll find out one day. I just hope that if it happens, they don't use their real names in their usernames. I hope I can catch that before that happens. More than human plus woof. Just a wee bit of fluff. We don't blame or judge for the human side. Yeah, we all have our faults and our failings. It's part of growing as a creature. So yeah. But I did throw them a curveball like on my way out yesterday, because I realized I've been mentioning them in like on stream every once in a while or on like Blue Sky, and there's going to come a day where there'll be a question about like if they're in the fandom or not. And so I figure I'll get ahead of that and start thinking about that now. So I tossed a question out at them without using the word furry, because you just don't use that word around conservative people of that variety. I didn't want to be there for an hour hearing about all the garbage on the news. But I did ask them, like, if you could be any animal, what would you be? And was honestly surprised. Like, that feels like a question that almost everyone would have, I think, personally, that would be a question I would think anyone would have asked, like, as part of being, you know, a small brat, like, just as part of the whole, like, make-believe and stuff. But the thought apparently never crossed their mind. So, caught them completely off guard with that one. Yeah, I didn't want to get into that, the litter box thing. After all, like, I already had an interesting mini conversation with my aunts. which I don't think would have happened if my mom was in the room for it. She usually she's usually fairly strict about no politics or contentious issues on the holidays, on family occasions, I should say. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure she would have growled at my aunt for that one. So yeah, you might be surprised. My family's very conservative, and they were surprisingly for your poor judgment. Which poor judgment, though? We make so many of them in our life. After all, it took them a while to come to terms with my choice in romantic partners. Man, that was a rocky road. That took a few years to work through. But for anyone who happens to be listening and might be going through similar, it may seem like the world is ending with your family because of this particular, because of your sexuality, your desire, who you want to spend your life with. But it doesn't have to be that way forever. Eventually, like, love tends to be stronger for that kind of stuff. And in my situation, like, my mom valued the family and keeping the family together more than the conservative ideals that she lived with. And so she basically twisted my she worked through it herself and then twisted my father's arm to do the same. Because I don't know how it is in your family, but my family's a matriarchy. What mom says goes. And you don't backsass her. Buying a fursuit and getting to know internet people. Yeah. The fursuit's something I never did. I've thought about it a couple of times, but I would overheat immediately just even looking at the thing, not even getting it on. Just the thought of putting even a partial suit on, like, I can already feel the temperature rising in the room by 10 degrees. Now Dozy craves ice cream. Yeah, I have a romantic attachment to ice cream. I very much love it. Oh, I see. In the Rocky Road. I should be paying more attention to chat to keep up with your jokes. Good joke, though. Let's see. Parents are the average American parents. They're divorced. Is that average? It's certainly common. The rates are very different between rural and urban areas and suburban. Mm-hmm. Sorry, had to hydrate. If it's not something you would enjoy doing, or if you're not into performance art, save your money. Sass. Yeah, this is the only place you're gonna get to mention sass today, Ray. There's no death involved. No, I haven't encountered a death yet in this game. So, yeah, you're not gonna get to use your button for that one. So yeah. But yeah, they got over it eventually. It was still a difficult few years. But I'm glad that we got through that. So it doesn't mean that I can be completely open with some things yet, but I can bring a boyfriend home if I want. And as long as mom's had a chance to make the house presentable, she's more than happy to meet whoever I bring over. So she still hasn't gotten over the you know what, let's use this. Come on, there we go. I was gonna say, let me pick up the ladder. Yeah, let's do that there, because then I can do this with a shorter release. But yeah, like, can't quite be entirely out in the open. Like, there's still like this faint feeling of don't ask, don't tell So I just choose my topics carefully, but otherwise, like, the peace has been made, and we were able to move on with our lives and do more important things, like actually spend time together and get to and share interests and such. So, lazy stream for Foxmon, yes. And my sibling know about the boys and the oh man. From what you've told me about your mom, like, she sounds like the kind who probably, like, she probably wouldn't have asked anything about it except unless she actually had a burning curiosity, and otherwise your mom would have been like, okay, so when are you coming by next, and what would you like to drink, or something like that, essentially. So, which is honestly all I can really hope for in my friends and family, is that they're just like, cool. They'd let you know if it's their thing or not, and if it's not, then they just move on to something else. Do 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 do. I do like walking dog music. There's a good reason, even though I haven't had Spotify for long, that it was easily in the top of my year wrap. It's just nice little bouncy in the background. I found out she knew when we happened to get on the topic. Notice that we both were avoiding. Ah, yes. Yeah. When you realize that they've stopped using terms like girlfriend or boyfriend, or he and him, her, yeah, then you know that they've engaged that particular part of their brain where they're looking for information. So, yeah, my parents never got to that. It was difficult. I don't mind sharing it though. I don't mind sharing it, but yeah, I'll share it only if people ask. Like the kind of experience that I went through for that can be particularly triggering for some people. And while I basically consider the trigger warning, I don't. But yeah, I don't mind going on mentioning it. Blah, blah, blah. She was sure at that point. My sister told. I see. I my brother didn't have a chance to tell them because I was pretty good for the most part about keeping the secret, although I did learn some lessons about. Okay, that's just shadowed. I did complete the lantern. I did learn some lessons about information security as part of this. Mm-hmm. It's fun being part of a Southern family. I remember every year going back to Virginia. First question when I stepped on the train, or stepped off the train. So do you have a girlfriend? But when I turned 30, they stopped asking. Yeah, once you're 30, it's kind of should be a no-brainer. What? Oh, I did finish that lantern. Okay. I'm just wasting time doing that. In that case, let us get out the extender, the long boy, and work on the roof. The ceiling, sorry, the roof is the outside part of the ceiling. Do words really need to be as specific as we make them sometimes? I suppose it's easier to say roof and ceiling versus like under ceiling, out above ceiling, or under roof, up above roof, or something like that. Blame English. It's not just English, but English is certainly a jerk when it comes to vocabulary and such. What are words? Words are just collections of noises that we all agreed have a particular meaning. At some point, after you've repeated the word enough times, it feels like it has no meaning anymore. That particular noise, that utterance. What? Many words I don't agree with. Yeah. There are lots of things I don't agree with in life. The English, large swaths of the English language are certainly part of it. I always point people to the Gallagher. Yes, Gallagher had some good stuff about English. I think I liked George Carlin's bits about language a little more, but Gallagher did have some good stuff. And I can share George Carlin without getting comments about the spiciness of the material. Because Gallagher kind of wandered off a little bit and made himself a bit controversial. As some people do. Oh. I just realized. There's a silhouette of an elf here. Combs, T-O-M-B. T-O-M-B, Tomb. Yeah, no, Tomb, yeah. Karen's always fun to watch. Boom. Boom. I've exploded the boom. The boom. But yes, there apparently was a boom, a bomb boom in here that, multiple actually, now that I think about it. Because there was already an explosion to paint the wall black, and then another explosion of whatever green was that outlined the elf. At least I'm hoping that's the order it happened, and this wasn't more of a situation of green was there first, and then the elf was just incinerated into the wall, because that's a different problem. That's the what that game is, Viscera Cleanup Detail. That's that game's DLC. Which I have and might be tempted to do at some point in the future as well. You know, for these like random, just cozy, just hang out and yammer types of games. Okay, that lantern did not have a beard, it just had suit. Suit. Elves are black transparent. Was that just did I just wash an elf out? You know what? I've started it. I may as well just keep going up the stairs, actually. Oh no, I wanted to do the other side of the roof as well. That's the other reason I got the Extend-O-Matic out on my spritzy wand. Gotta spray. Gotta make sure that you know, can get the distance with the spray here. It's a lot of filthy things. So. Ray, you might appreciate this. I was during conversation, dinner conversation, Christmas Eve dinner. Oh man, we'll come back to that in a moment. I was mentioning to my family that I was trying to create new email accounts and get rid of the old one for reasons which I will not go into here on stream. Which, not for spicy reasons, just for personal security reasons. And before I even mentioned where I was going to, my mom mentioned that she was also working on doing the same, and she just out of the blue said that she set up a Proton Mail account and was using that, and I was just like, oh, that's what I'm moving to as well. So. Can't wait till we can be immature and start quoting those. Should I tell him? Yeah. So, about that, Rail, the quotes, I do have quote commands set up, but they need some work. I'm not happy with them and how they work at this point because they don't record the information that I want. Like, a while back, you like in one of the streams, Rayu had tried to use it, and it recorded a quote, but it didn't record like what game I was playing, the date, the time, who saved the quote, that kind of thing. So it's just like I want more context around the quotes in the list. So yeah, that's something we're working on, is getting the getting the quotes commands fixed. But they do exist, and I have given VIPs access to those commands. So everyone was hard at work because there was Viagra in the water. Good song, by the way. Viagra in the water. Set in upstate New York. Bangs was testing the durability of the rocket ships on the ceiling, whilst Mullet was fine-tuning the high notes of their xylophones. Bang kind of makes sense. Mullet for high notes? I've got a bit of a mullet going on my model, as you can see. Across the way, High Top Fade had... Oh, shoot. I wasn't paying attention. Messages. Across the way, High Top Fade had made some planes with precision engineering, whilst Pompadour had made some dolls that probably needed more work, really. It was just a bunch of Elvis dolls. With a name like Pompadour. Also, who names these poor elves? I didn't mean to play... Yeah, see, the quote commands are there. But yeah, I gave the VIPs access to the quote commands rail, so you'll be able to use this as well. But as you can see there in the output, it doesn't like give you any context. Like sure, taken out of context is fun, but it's also kind of nice to have the context, and then you just have the choice to ignore the context. So I want to get the title of the game that I was playing attached to it, as well as who recorded the quote and the date and time. So that way I also know who to blame. Also, Stream Elements doesn't show up in your in-stream chat, FYI. Yeah, I think... Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's not in the overlay. I think I had set Stream Elements up to explicitly not be present there. But, yeah, that's something to also be curious about. I might look into that. I want to fix the quote commands sooner rather than later, though, because I want, now that I have VIPs, I want to give you guys something to play with. Like, you know, when you're not just in full-on lurk mode, you have something you can fuss about with and such. There's a lot of stuff I want to do for VIPs and subscribers, and I honestly, let's get this shortened back down. I wish I had artistic skills of my own so that I could do a lot of it myself. I have to commission everything, though, which means that it takes a long time to get anything done that I want if it requires assets. And a lot of stuff I want to do involves assets. Or eventually I'll figure out how to do some of the stuff myself. Eventually. All hairstyles. You know what? Honestly, I would not be surprised if Pompadour worked on anything except hairstyles. Just as some irony. Like they're not all like ponies, like My Little Pony types, where their name and their cutie mark dictates their fate and destiny for the rest of their existence. So that could be interesting. And get that in there. Hello, hi Oberon, welcome on in. Oberon was sharing some excellent music with me over the Christmas holiday. It was very nice. Obi. Obi, the one of the Kenobis. Alright. I think I got all of these. Grotto floor. I didn't even realize that they called this Santa's Grotto. Alright. So, yeah, I wonder... I know this isn't the nice list because I can see a map of the world in the background. So now I wonder if there's a naughty hiding in here somewhere. Oops. Hey, get off the ladder. I said get off. Santa's list of naughty and nice. Oh, there's a few people crossed off the nice list, including Marmalade. Can I? Can't zoom. I thought there was a zoom. Albie, and celiac disease. Probably Callie. All right, well, I don't know what they did. Oh, of course, their names are going to be over here. There's Marmalade and Albie and Callie. Coffee Bean? How could Coffee be naughty? That's unfortunate. Grinch? Grinch isn't naughty. He's just misunderstood. Fortune. Bella. Rockets? Wait. Krampus is on the naughty list. That's not fair. Something tells me a lot of these are elf names. Bitey the elf. That would be me. I would be Bitey the elf. Pajamas, spelled with a Y, chiefly Brit. Nico Mergy. Baxter has stars around his name. Something tells me those are the stars of a rump kisser. Yes, that's what we'll call them. Mark, Cleo, Rory, Noodle. Noodle sounds like a good boy. That's a name of a good boy. Tifa, Binky, Junji. Is their last name Ito by chance? I could believe he's a good boy. Disturbed in some ways, maybe, but a good boy. Yeah, I think I want to change up a few names on this list. This doesn't seem right. Bitey is a good boy, I'm sure. Krampus is definitely a good boy. So, you know. Rocket, if it's the raccoon, I'm sure he's a good boy. What is good? Exactly. Who is Santa to be going around deciding who is good and who isn't? I feel they missed an opportunity to code the player's name into... It's a good question. Yeah. They really could have stuffed me on the naughty list easily. And they wouldn't have to question that one. Bang Bang is on the good list. Oh, Santa's Ho, one of them. Of course they're on the nice list. Anyway, speaking of the nice, let us do a wee bit of cleansing of this wall. This game is really good with the little tiny, like, what's the word? The brain chemicals, we'll say. Because, like, that ding is very satisfying when you do get something cleaned up. I want to be the star on the tree, please. There we go. And then get to the top of this. World map. Nice. Oh, there's posters hidden underneath all the grime. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Serotonin, my favorite. Yes, serotonin's very tasty, isn't it? You got some clocks that apparently are ultraviolet or something. Let's see, do they have names by chance? Because clocks without names are... Oh. These clocks make absolutely no sense. This is not how time zones work. Like, I know we have some 15 and 30 and 45-minute time zones, but just looking at these minute hands, we're not following those rules at all. And this must be like before the era of time zones, back when it was just high noon time zone. Rotate. Oh yes, and clean this. Get ready, 1 day until Christmas. This will never not be a pet peeve for me when I see a disagreement between number and the nouns. It's hard to read, and it just throws my brain right off. It's a reset button for me. Tryptophan is my favorite. If you don't have homemade store-bought, I never tried the store-bought serotonin. Box were too dirty. Someone needs to come back. Okay. So yeah, someone needs to go in and clean the mechanisms. I don't think I did a good enough job with this. Wait, what was that? Oh, I missed a spot. There we go. As I say, I just saw the not done tick. See, don't ever work for the railroad. Isn't the railroad supposed to have like the most precise clocks? Didn't we make precise clocks largely because of things like the railroad, where now we could travel long distances a lot faster, and therefore, having to coordinate what is noon in one place versus another actually mattered. It's been 1 day since our last it has messages. It has been less than 1 day since the accident, because technically I'm here on Christmas Eve, and it was the day before that this happened. Movie night? Santa's Grotto presents movie night. This Thursday at 7 p.m., Santa's office, a night full of fun Christmas movies for all of our friends and family. Rated PG. For Piggy. Yep, they're gonna have Piggy movies. What does PG even mean? PJ? What does PG even mean when it comes to ratings? Come on. Parents don't provide guidance on that kind of stuff anymore, unless they're in one of those like associations. The associations, the ones that just kind of are like an agglomeration of Karens. What's the collective demonym for a group of Karens? I have a prescription for serotonin. I don't. This is my prescription for serotonin. Games and harassing you guys indirectly. So yeah, it's a whole other story I could read with. Railroads are the whole reason we have time zones. I mean, and for the day signs. Oh, I see. I'm sure railroads, like many other things, have very frequent accidents in the workhouses, that is. Hopefully not frequent on the actual rails. We've seen enough of those in the news recently. Oh yeah, I already got the wall. I like this window scene. This would be there needs to be a nice bench here right up against the window with some blankets and pillows and maybe a little lantern, and then I just want to chill here with a book, or my deck or my Switch, one of those. A screech. Yeah, the screech is what the Grinch calls his computer monitors. Those are his screeches. Hi Siri, what are you doing? That is certainly a sketchy name that was just banned. But it's not like last stream where when Seribot banned someone, it was because they actually said something that triggered the banned words list. In the last stream, someone wandered in and said is it cheap viewers or cheap followers, one of those. And Seribot immediately just sniped it. It was lovely. I love watching Seribot work on the side. Everything sounds fake until you see it in person. I sound fake all the time. And you still see me here on your screen. So what is real? What really is real in the world? Is the world real? Have you had enough to drink to ponder these questions? Does your eggnog have a suitable amount of brandy or rum in it? However you prefer it. I prefer mine sans nog, honestly. Ray, you can have my nog. Best followers ever. Like, you don't already have a short ban for saying it's like it's gonna censoring me in 2024. I think not, bitch. I do. I should double check the auto mod. I thought I had the auto mod set pretty mild. Unfortunately, it's difficult to tell. Like, Automat has a bunch of categories in it as to like what it latches onto, and some terms could fall in multiple categories. And Twitch is not at all transparent about like how it just makes those determinations. Which, you know, there's some fairness to that. As much as I would prefer transparency, like, you don't want your automated moderation services to be too transparent, because then people just find ways around it or to exploit it. So I understand why they don't want to be specific about it. That said, I kind of wish I knew as a... I was about to say content creator, that just feels weird. I guess I create content. As a professional-ish user of Twitch, I would like to be able to predict how the bots are going to be targeting my viewers. So yeah. I'll take the nog. Yeah, you may have all the nog, Ryu. It's all yours. I might try making my own nog sometime just to see if I could do better, because I've only had the store-bought stuff. Maybe that was the problem. And until then, I'm just not that into the nutmeg jizz. Let's see, they go a little too far with that, fearing the use of the word as a slur. You can use anything as a slur if you try hard enough. Honestly, I've been wanting to, well, I'll get back to that in a moment. Banning the word is what turns it into a slur. Yes, that definitely is exactly it. And I was about to go into there shortly. I grew up watching Mel Brooks. Using slurs is what destroys their power and meaning. I do like Mel Brooks's stuff. Some of it's definitely could not be made in the current day and age. But he was cognizant of what he was doing as he went down into some of the really inappropriate content. And so he never used it maliciously. He used it to kind of draw attention to just how ridiculous it sounded, without breaking the fourth wall and pointing to it and be like, see, this is dumb, isn't it? So yeah. I can kind of appreciate how he did that, but yeah, he certainly couldn't make those movies today. Partially because original content is just apparently forbidden now anyway. Everything's got to be derivative. Hollywood's afraid of making anything that isn't a sequel or prequel, something that isn't already established IP. When I volunteered at the Railroad Museum, we had one of those little hand cars they used in the movie. Oh, I know exactly the ones where you pump on both sides. Every time one of us had to take out, when we come back, you'd hear someone yell, "Tim, you lost a $30 hand car." Or somebody didn't hear. So I didn't hear Something. Oh, it's the. I see. I like that. History of the World Part 1 was actually, I think, yeah, that was my first. No, sorry, Spaceballs was my first Mel Brooks movie. History of the World Part 1 was my second one. And then I went back and found Blazing Saddles. Spaceballs is great. You look just like the piss. Oh, man. You look just like the piss boy. Use that's a phrase that probably... There are some streamers that I wonder if they know that reference. And how they would interpret it if we use that phrase in their stream. We're in the frickin' North Pole. Why do you have fake Christmas trees? I disapprove. But I do appreciate all the ping, 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 ping. Mel Brooks quotes in my team chat at work. It's fun. Or in my team at work. We need a miracle, but confusing for Nito. Horse name. I haven't seen Young Frankenstein all the way through. I would like to, though. Frau Brucker. Frankenstein. Oh, is each light its... Oh, it is its own. That's why I'm getting all these very satisfying pings. Okay. I ain't turning that down. But I do need to get into a closer one of these. Because now I've got to actually be in the way. This particular song is messing with me. The part where it goes do-do-do-do, it's the same. It sounds very much like the same notes in the State Farm commercials. I think it is. So. Oh, roll in the hay. I would not roll in hay. That stuff is itchy. You'll definitely regret that later. I know, because I used to have to frickin' help in the frickin' haymow. There we go. Present. Ooh. Dirty presents. What do you have in this present that it's so dirty? None of them have labels, so I can't tell if any of them... I'm just looking for a tag that says from BD. All right. It's looking so bright and cheerful over here, away from the disaster. I don't watch commercials because I don't watch TV. And I have ad block. Though I guess I do watch some commercials. Well, I hear commercials against my will sometimes. Because on my work computer, it's locked down so that I can't install ad blockers. And so I'm forced to listen to commercials on, like if I have to like check out a YouTube video or something. It's very frustrating. Google wants their money though. As if they don't have enough. The funniest thing is a lot of the commercials on YouTube are for ad blockers, and including like they often start with someone saying like, "Why are everyone complaining about ads on YouTube? Well, you could block them." And it's just like, really, YouTube? You want to be advertising this after you just took away everyone's ability to block your ads? What are you doing? Although I think YouTube lost the battle and they've given up trying to outright block all ads. The arms race on ad blocking got real intense. What was I going to mention before when I said, no, I'll come back to that. Oh, with the slurs. So there are like the curse words. I forget, it's like 7 of them or something like that. Basically, the words that like the FCC forbids you to use on anything that's publicly broadcast. Um, and of course, like everyone will start. Well, not everyone, but people who have pearls will start clutching them if you use them. Um, and of course, those are the first words we all want to try out on the playground or such in school because we're like, oh, the adults don't like it when we use these. We must learn all of the intricacies of them. We must become experts in the art of the swearing, the cursing, the potty mouth. So, yes. The Carlin list. Carlin came along after the list was made, though. I actually do forget what the original name of the list was. I think that list was made like during some of the early early Hollywood Code. Again, the proper name of which I've forgotten. It was someone's name though, I think. Something code. But yeah, it was super strict about what was allowed to be portrayed on the screen and what could be heard and so on and so forth. There we go. I think I got enough in there. Ba-ba-ba. Present. Where is your schmutz? There you are. There we go. Present, 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 present. But yeah, I was on a... Like, that list bothered me. All right. And for a while, I was trying to see if I could turn other words into swear words. Because honestly, what makes something... Aside from the fact that a bunch of them are defined as curse words now, what honestly makes something a curse word is the intent behind the word and how it's interpreted by the listener. Like whether they feel like offended to the point where like it was like gross or basically something along those lines, or where they feel kind of dirty for hearing it. So yeah, I would, you cooties. Yeah, cooties could be a swear word. I was trying to make wombat a swear word for a while, just for the fun of it. So I'd be like, wombat that, or oh, yeah, or like, God wombat it. Stuff like that. Because why not? Why can't wombat be a swear word? And then you could have an entire section of the furry community that would have a very difficult existence, maybe. Honestly, I started that Ponderance and Crusade like long before I found out what furry was, which I'm still trying to figure it out, honestly. So don't ask me what it is. I couldn't tell you with any certainty. But Carlin had a bit on it that he tried to fit into every show recording. Let me post a list. Streamer permission. Yeah, go ahead. This is an 18+ stream. It's adult. Use your best judgment. I trust you. And you know, it's like just racial slurs or stuff like that. That's about the only thing where I'd be like, just be careful. I would rather avoid racial slurs and slurs outright, unless it's something I've reclaimed. So, because yeah, you know what? I don't care if you call me a fag. I dealt with that on the high school playground. That was something that hurt hearing it in school before I had come to terms with my identity and accepted it. And now I'll take that proudly if you call me it. So fuck you. So yeah, what do we got here? I should have pissed off. Yeah. Although some of those feel like auxiliary words, like mother doesn't have to be in there. But it certainly adds extra oomph to it. And cunt is a fun one. That one will get people gasping in other English-speaking countries, but that one's fun because in the U.S. it's not, like, people don't really think about it very often. We understand it's a bad word, but like the pearl clutchers don't clutch nearly as hard for cunt as they do for any of the other ones. So you can tell like if someone's American or not based on how they react to cunt. And you can tell that I've been in America long enough that I only have mild hesitation using it. So that is the FCC list, those specifically. Ah, yes. It's a good thing I'm not on... I don't think the FCC has regulatory power over the internet yet. So they keep trying. So I think I'm fine for now. Not sure how YouTube plays into that, but we'll figure that out eventually. Oh, right, underneath. Underneath the giant bubbles. All right. And I'm not even paying attention to time or what I'm doing. Kunti. Ah, yes, the Latin spelling of kunt. Kunt. And then there's Australia. Ah, yes. Australia. They have an interesting rap due to their interesting history. You know, no more interesting than America's interesting rap because of its history. So every country's spicy in its own way. Man, the light difference is so dramatic. Current time is... I hesitate to believe you, Rail, because outside my window I can see that it is particularly dim for that hour for my current latitude. Oh, I see, in Australia. Which part of Australia? I think they have 2 time zones. And one of them's half an hour off from the other one. Hey, Wags, welcome on in. You walked in while we were discussing swear words. Can I not cheese jump? Fine. Give me this. And pop that on here. This place looks like a number of things. I don't think any of it is mold, though, honestly. Because I'm pretty sure that whatever happened here yesterday involved a lot of exploding. This is Santa's Grotto. I doubt there's much mold here. Mold generally doesn't like Arctic temperatures. So, it only looks moldy. I got timed up by Twitch and an Aussie friend. Yeah. I think I do have some auto timeouts set up for particular offenses, but swearing is not one of them. Because we're feckin' adults here. You know what's appropriate and what isn't, and the few things where I have auto timeouts set, it's for things that are obviously not appropriate. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you that it's inappropriate. Like, I have moderators for the rest. Does like water and indoor surfaces. It's true. It would just have to survive the trip here. Although I suppose Santa's got to get his building supplies from somewhere else, unless like part of his magic is he magics all the building mats into existence. So yeah, I wonder how that works. The lore about how how Santa crafts all this stuff seems to be a bit different depending on who's telling the story. Like, does he get all this stuff from elsewhere, or does he just like Star Trek replicator it into existence, and then just magic instead of like dark matter for the material that goes into the replicator for fuel? Dark matter or dilithium? I think it's dilithium. I forget specifically how the dilithium was worked in that system. But at least one of the mods so what's to say things. Well, yeah, the mod also both of the mods actually are aware of themselves also have limits as to what they believe is appropriate and what isn't. So I'm not worried. So, and my mods, of course, do have full power to use their own fangs and claws as they feel is appropriate. Like they don't need me holding their hands. Nox. Noxus, don't worry. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. You didn't hear him pumping those dolls up? Just had Jeff Bezos handle all his production for him. I need to get myself an ooh sticker. Actually, is that an ooh? Close enough. I should commission some stickers. I need to. There's a lot of things I need to do. Well, need is really the strong word. There's a lot of things I really want to do for the stream, and I wish I had all the time and money for it. Not having my own artistic skills, I kind of briefly mentioned this earlier, means that like I can't just churn things out as the whim strikes me. I need to like turn it into commissions and then find someone who's available to do the work and willing to do the work. Because, you know, it's not enough for an artist to be available and like open for a commission. They have to be interested in the commission. And sorry, didn't want to cough into the mic. And I am very happy that artists have largely moved to the model where they it's not first come first serve to get into their commission queues. Now you apply for it, they review it and get back to you by a particular deadline to let you know if they're accepting your commission or not. So because and like I shouldn't have to explain this to people, but it turns out you do have to explain to some people. The artist has to be interested in what they're going to draw. As any of you know, cute. As any of you know, it is very difficult to work on something if you're not interested in it. If the subject matter bores you, you're just going to procrastinate forever on it. And, you know, if it's your own thing, well, then you're the only one that suffers. But if it's something that someone has paid you to do, then it impacts your professional image, which impacts your business. And so you don't want to be stuck in that kind of death spiral where you are struggling to work on something that you agreed to work on, even though you don't want to do it, just because now it's going to impact your bottom line directly. So yeah, it's very. I'm happy artists have moved to the model where they will let you know if they're accepting your commission or not. But yeah, that does mean that it's not enough for me to just find an artist who's available. I need to make sure I pitch an idea that's like they're fine with, that they are interested in. And one of the and even when an artist accepts one of my commission requests, I still like double check with them and just say, are you I just want to make sure you're going to be like you're fine making this. It's not too dull, like, and you're basically you're going to have some fun with it. And I haven't had a problem yet. Everything the artists at least have so far told me that they're interested in everything I've given them. Some have been outright enthusiastic, so that's great. But yeah, man, I wish I had my own art skills that were sufficient for showing off and making stream assets with. Because I would already have churned out so much stuff. So much you can do. I thought this was going to be a jukebox until I saw that. By the way, Santa gets his toys from Japan according to this YouTube video. I have someone working on a bigger project than he expected, cracking the whip on him too. Yeah, that's another thing. Um, the artist is running a business, and they need to be held to professional standards. And I try to balance being friendly with being professional with them, because you shouldn't take on a contract if you're not um, going to be able to fulfill it, or if you don't think you can fulfill it. Um, so, and if you don't, and it's fine to terminate the contract if you if you later on get to a point where you're like, I can't do this. You just need to let the other person know so they're not twisting in the wind. You need to have your refund policy in place, that kind of stuff. And there are a couple of artists, which actually you saw on the last stream, Oberon, when I was, as like the bonus when I was showing the stuff I had uh, in the queue. You saw like there were a couple that was just like the start dates on them were a little ways back. So, and I'm very bad about cracking the whip. I'm cozy, not just, or and laid back, I should say, not just in stream, but like in a lot in life. I don't like putting pressure on people, which, and although it's unfair of the business person, the artist, to put me in a position where I feel like I have to put pressure on them or any of us. So yeah, I want to avoid that if I can. But yeah, there are definitely a couple where I think we've reached a point where it's like, all right, I need to have a chat with them and just say, are you still okay to do this? I've given you a lot of money at this point. Like it just, and I want to make sure that I'm not like that I don't have a commission that's in your queue, like just burning up and giving you anxiety because it's not done yet. There we go. I think I finished this bit. Nutcracker, yes, he is done. But yeah, I have a lot I want to do. A lot of stuff I want to commission. I wish, and I would love to get myself like what Bones calls a pocket artist, so which is basically someone who like you have a good relationship with, and you can like they're almost like if they're available, like they're generally willing and happy to kind of put together not like really necessarily heavy things like that are time consuming, but can help you with like some of the quick stuff that just kind of fulfill like an idea, a vision that you had. Like I would love to establish that kind of relationship, but it's the kind of thing that you can't just rush into. Like any sort of relationship or friendship, it takes time and collaboration. So I've been casting my net far and wide for people who I commission to kind of see like what kind of relationships I can build and who seems like they might be most open to it, without mentioning yet like establishing like a repeat partnership yet. I think I've only mentioned that to one of them. So, I think for the first half of the current project, I gave him like 500. Yeah, it's a huge project. He's keeping a good pace. First half of the current project. Is this going to cost you more? Is that the implication? Is that 500 is only half the cost? Because that is an intense commission. That's one where like that requires a strong contract. That's a business decision there. So yeah, you can't be like, if I was running a business and I had taken on $1,000 contract from someone, I would be very, very careful with that contract, because it could have a huge impact on my business operations and my reputation. So I talk to maybe 2 people daily. The rest just whenever I remember to. Yeah, it's a 2-part project, man. I hope that I hope the commission wraps up in a reasonable amount of time, um, with minimal stress. Anytime where you have to follow up with someone, it's stressful, unfortunately. So I can only say minimal and no, and not no stress. High Top Fade suspected a fault on one of their planes and was about to give it a test flight when Ivor came skipping into the workshop carrying their box of secrets. Distracted, High Top Fade launched their plane across the room where, in a 1 in a million shot, it wedged itself deep in the... What the hell was that word? I thought it said mechanism, but then I realized it didn't. Oh, it does? Okay, it does say mechanism. Wedged itself deep in the mechanism of the present wrapping machine. Interesting. That's not how I expected that to go. We're friendly enough, so there's no contract. He's kind of my... Okay, cute. Okay. Him, I'm not worried about. The other kid that I paid like 200 for something is the one I keep... Yeah, man. I would love if the world were simple enough where like you don't have to keep on people to get stuff done, but my day job is a lot of me having to get after people to do what they need to do, the stuff that they're paid to do, that I shouldn't have to be nannying them about, and it's certainly not my job description to be like acting as their nanny for it. But in order to complete my job description, I sometimes have to get after people for not doing their own jobs. So yeah, I would love if I didn't have to do that. If everyone, were good at being professional and good at managing time and resources, but we don't live in that world. And I don't have much room to comment because I myself am very bad at time management. And I just try to make up for really being excellent at other things. 0 days since last eggnog incident. Ryu, what did you do? What is this incident they speak of? Okay. All right, it wasn't you. I suppose we live in the US where you're innocent until proven guilty. Just imagine the world if everyone did what they were supposed to do. Yeah. Although, actually, I'm struggling to imagine that kind of world. Not because it's so far-fetched, but because the implications are a little mind-boggling. Because a lot of... And I was actually kind of adjacent to a conversation I was having with Rayu a bit earlier. Like, a lot of the stuff that we do in our daily lives is, like, a lot of the jobs that exist and such is a direct result of people not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like audit jobs that involve being an auditor or an inspector, for example. A lot of those wouldn't be necessary if people did what they were supposed to do. But unfortunately, we don't. That's not how it works. And so we have to have someone combine, double check work or make sure people are following regulations, that kind of stuff. So yeah, the world would be a much potentially simpler place, but something tells me there's a different part of Pandora's box that would show up if the world were like that. Also, I think a lot of creativity and invention probably comes from people finding ways to get out of doing what they need to be doing, what they're supposed to be doing. So there is something to be said for that. Something to be said for the Larrys of the world. I mean, that's a lot of my job, yeah. Oh, yeah. When I worked in the sign industry, 90% of my job as a project manager, following up with the contractors and making sure... I should be paying attention to what I'm spraying as well. Making sure they were doing what they said the way they were supposed to. Yeah. Yeah, you have to... And that's pretty standard. Like, in IT, in large sections of IT, you open a ticket for something to be done, and and part of that is you say, like, these are my requirements, these are my expectations, and so like those become essentially like the test cases and such. I'm trying to get that little bit down there so I can get the edge of the presence. All right. And so yeah, at the end you have someone, usually the person who put in the request, go through and make sure that what was delivered meets the requirements. And that well-defined ticket is supposed to be the checklist that you use. If it wasn't in there, then you didn't actually request it, and if you need it, then it's another request, it's another bit of work that needs to be done. But whatever was in that initial request, you should be able to expect that it's there. So yeah, you got some. So yeah, I've done that as well. I've worked in all of the positions of the development life cycle, and I have empathy and criticisms for all of them. That thankfully I feel justified in having, because I've worked in all of those positions. So that could still work, though. I'm very lazy, so I'm always finding ways to get my work done to satisfaction, even not just good enough. So I'm always making little new things. Yeah. And that part there is what some people call pride in your work, where it's not enough to just like complete the job, but to complete it in a way where you feel like you're happy, you feel comfortable having your name on the output from that job, knowing that when someone looks at it later and sees your name, that you're gonna feel comfortable with what they're seeing, and that it's not representing you poorly. I think I got all the pieces. Yeah. Oh yeah. The series of pings. Speaking of ping. Okay, I've only dropped 123 frames so far this stream. That's a good sign. It's not pride. If it's not good enough, they'll make me do it again. Okay, that's fair. An avoidance of more work is also a very good motivator, and it's one that I often use in my rationale when I'm trying to convince people to do what they need to do. I will sometimes remind them that if they don't do it right this time, they're going to have to do it again. And if I have to come back and have them do it again, I'm going to be much more on their ass about it. And I'm not a particularly malicious. I'm not a malicious person. I'm evil, but I'm not malicious. But if I have to come back and babysit someone, I become professional. I'm polite and professional, but I'm not nearly as warm as I usually am. So, yeah, if I don't like babysitting people. I've got my own work I need to be doing. Let's see. Join us for our Christmas party. Christmas Eve tonight, 6 p.m. Also known as Gogo Rokiji. Rokuji, not Roki. I need to practice my Japanese when I can. At the Snow Globe. Music, food, drink. Please note, after last year's eggnog issues, we are no longer providing eggnog as a beverage of choice. Imagine Santa's Grotto having no eggnog. So I keep calling myself lazy. I thought it was the brown dog that was supposed to be lazy while the fox jumped over him. I'm a beach. Some people I can definitely be a bitch to, but it's very rare. Like, you have to fuck up a lot for me to become like if I get to the point where I'm being a bitch, it's because you have screwed up a lot. A very, very, very lot have you screwed up if I'm riding your ass that hard where, like, I am making your life miserable. I've only had to do that. I could probably count it on one hand, honestly, the number of times I've ever had to do that. Because I don't like doing it, which only magnifies the bitchdom. Let's see. French Bob. Oh, he is one of the employees who is messaging us. They are a designer. Day shift, night shift. Oh, they're doing back-to-back shifts. Oh, that's brutal. If they're doing a day and a night next to each other like that. Thursday. And this was last year, so Thursday was their Christmas Eve. So they did a Christmas Eve movie night. So they still had shifts to work on Christmas Day. Interesting. Whoop whoop. Vicky Lou is a whoop whoop. All right. Excited. Huh. Christmas party. Wait, was Christmas on a Sunday last year? I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. It was definitely midweek. Okay. Anyway, enough of that. Enough lore. Let's see. I want the most output for the smallest input, and having the buffer to ensure work doesn't have to be redone is part of the equation. Yeah. And part of that buffer is the social buffer. I have to sometimes account for my energy, and so I take note of who's working on a project and the likelihood that I might have to expend social battery energy on working with them. So I'm just a sarcastic ass by default. It's fun being sarcastic. I used to be very sarcastic, and I got in a lot of trouble for that. So I had to start making an effort to tone back the sarcasm. So, because yeah, it used to be like almost every other sentence out of my mouth had a sarcastic feel to it, and you know that's kind of dick to be, to be that sarcastic anyway. So, I think I told you before, our chief of staff had to chastise me over it a few times. Yeah. If your boss has to, you know, maintain the appearance of propriety and professionalism, and so like, you know, kind of like when you get into a fight on the playground at school, and you know your parents have to come and pick you up from school, and you know, in public, like in front of the principal, they'll chastise you for you know getting into a fight and such. But as soon as you let them know it was because you know that like they deserved it essentially because they were the person that you swung at was an absolute and unmitigated prick, that like objectively so, then they like will take you out for ice cream. So yeah, that kind of stuff. Okay, I was gonna say I thought I got some of these back here, but apparently I didn't. Oh, it's because you have extra schmutz in behind. Yeah, you're done. Did I? Okay, you're all done. Oh, what? Christmas last year was Monday. Oh, okay. So Sunday. Okay, so the Christmas party might be then on maybe that's Christmas Eve then. Okay. And so the movie night was actually a few days before Christmas Eve. Huh. So let's see. French Bob had the day shift that on the Christmas Eve, the night of the incident. High Top Fate was working the day shift. Okay, yeah. So you've mentioned them a couple times. Okay. Although it said Bangs was working on his rockets, and it says he has a holiday then. So I don't know. Something isn't jiving with the schedule. Their lore is not lining up. Atrocities. Anyway, one moment. I need to step away and use the restroom. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. I'll be right back, though. Apologies. Cool, man. Sorry about that. Oh, I should also yeah, I'll unmute the game. That'd be wise. So, just before the stream, I made the terrible decision to, well, whenever I'm like getting ready for a stream, I like try and get a fresh drink, and part of that for some reason is a bad habit to. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a good point. Let me do this, and then I can and then I can restart the Spotify music. Sorry about that. So do this, and why don't I have a button for this? All right, well, there's a button I need to make. Spotify, come here. I need you. There we go. Hopefully that's a better volume now. Thanks for letting me know, Ryu. Although now it's between songs. Yeah, so like when I'm getting ready for stream, one thing I do is I will like go and grab a fresh drink, but I have this bad habit if I've got a drink to just chug it and finish it off. And today's what I was drinking before the stream was just soda, so it's not healthy, but that also I definitely should not have chugged that. He says he drinks more. It's not soda this time. It's more water-based. Man, you guys made a mess of this. So this was Mullet's station, because they said he was working on the xylophone. The toy xylophone. Ohio. This is Walking Dog's like kawaii lo-fi beats kind of thing. So Japanese-ish. Every once in a while there's this random bit of weeaboo happening. You know, kind of like me. Just every once in a while, random bit of weeaboo. Although Bones keeps giving me animus to watch, and I need to catch up on them. Like, I've got tabs open for them in my browser, and I've not pursued them further, even though they were good, if sometimes a little odd. Like, Dandadan is going to be an interesting one to keep watching. Just I only saw the first episode, and it was just like, it's like that one's off the walls. That one, I think I mentioned him. That was like full on Fooly Cooly vibes. Still louder than it was early. Oh. I wonder. Oh. I know. There we go. Okay. I've got some alternative buttons to figure out, apparently. Should be getting serenaded by Mariah Carey's. At this time of year? I suppose technically it's still before Christmas inside the workshop. You know what? I'll let Ryu take a poll on that. How many people wants the harbinger of Christmas herself to appear in Spotify? When I hear that, read that and All I got was "will always love you." So, do you have polls unlocked? I think polls are unlocked by default. Like, I don't need to be an affiliate to do polls. I think. I just we just have to use like the built-in Twitch commands for it, because I don't have anything custom set up for it. I don't care about the presents. Although I think we might have Mariah Rail anyway. Let's see. Oh, okay. I thought I had them. That's something I'll have to double check. Blah, blah, blah. At this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely in Santa's workshop? Yes. Oh, wow. I thought polls were built into Twitch, but I must have misread something. At least I don't recall disabling them. Gift wrapping station. With one of those paper cutting machines that they used to have in school. The ones that were always within reach of the children, but it's like you were never supposed to touch it. None of us lost any bits as far as I'm aware, though, so. A little mumbo jumbo-ish in this doll. It's probably just the mustache, though. I'm sure he doesn't know how to do any sort of redstone engineering. Okay. I forgot just how much of a time consumer these power wash levels are. I kind of like it. So, oh yeah, there was actually another reason I was asking my mom and my aunts, like if they could be any animal, would they be? Because I don't think I'll be getting them on board with furry anyway, and I don't really want to try. But I do mention them enough that I kind of would like to have some sort of shorthand for referencing them. And while I could make it up myself, I feel like I should give them the opportunity to come up with that themselves. You know, like anyone else who's come up with their online presence. So, but yeah, I just didn't want to ask them in the form of, if you were a furry, what would you be? Because I already know how that conversation's going to go, and I didn't want to deal with it. Yeah, you may be able to make a poll from the creator dashboard, but like from I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I could. I thought you would have that permission. Let me double check that in a moment. Yeah, I just want a couple more satisfying dings. Give me my dings. There you go. I feel a little better now. Did I get everything? Yeah. All right. So, Dashi board. What do we got here? Blah, 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 blah. So these be quick actions. Activity, blah, blah, blah. Stream markers. And they're really pushing that whole stream collaboration stuff. Oh, I don't have a button for it. Maybe it is an affiliate thing. Okay. Good to know. I'll have to look into that. Because I would love to be able to make polls for people. So, wait, why am I getting a notification? Oh, someone gifted me a sub. Okay. It's like I shouldn't be getting notifications. All right, anyway. Back to what I was doing. Polls are affiliate things. Oh, I see. Oh, no worries. I honestly didn't expect you to answer that one, so thank you. Thank you for the info and for confirming that. That one, I'm just kind of. Oh, I guess polls do have an ability where you could spend channel points in them for like extra votes or stuff like that. But I figured they would allow like at least basic polls for like, you know, any streamer. Something where you just put up the options and then get the basic answers, like that kind of thing. But interesting. Apparently the answer is no. Let's see. So yeah, my mother, surprisingly, was not ready to answer that question. I think I briefly mentioned that earlier. So like I already had an idea of what I was going to, like, what I would have selected for her. But again, I don't want to select. You know, that's an identity. It should be something you come up with. Is the doll is still filthy. Now it's not. So many filthy dolls. Did you just assume my species? I did. I thought you were a leggy boy, but apparently you're a fox, Ryu. But let's see. Oh yeah, so mom hasn't decided yet. But she did say, surprisingly, she did say that she was going to think on it. So I'm curious to see what comes of that. I did, yeah, and my aunt, like, she initially like just said dragon, which I was amused by that she didn't have to think very hard on it and already had something in mind. But she did backtrack after a little thinking and wanted to go with house cat, which I can kind of understand. She is in a not negative way. She is a cat lady, so she's like the entire time I've known her, like she's always had a cat, and the cats are pretty, like, they are her family. They're very close to her. So like, yes. So I'm not at all surprised that she wants to be a house cat as well. But yeah, that could be tempting to see if like if there's some sort of way to mix cat and dragon. I'm sure it's been done, and it's probably more likely to be done using Eastern dragons. So, but yeah, I'd be curious to see what my mom comes up with, because I do want some sort of shorthand that I can also refer to them by, like, you know, like an emoji or something like that, emote. So whenever I do bring them up in Blue Sky Post or something. Cat and dragon? Yeah, I can definitely see where, like, cats and some form of dragon can, they definitely have some personalities that they share. Personality traits, that's the word. Traits. So although cats don't have a tendency to hoard, for example. But they'll certainly turn on you in a moment if they if they, you know, on a whim, if they decide. Let's see. Workbench ladder. These workbenches do have ladders. I wonder why. Doesn't seem like they would need it. If they're tall enough to sit in these seats, these stools. Oh, I guess the stools do have ladders. Oh, that's a really cumbersome ladder. If you had to climb that, because it ends in the seat. Cats don't hoard exactly, but they do declare that everything is theirs. They just leave it there after. I don't think cats even declare that everything is theirs. They just assume it's a known fact that it's theirs. And if you're getting any use of it, it's only because they have decided that it's fine for you to use it at that point in time. They're basically just being generous with their stuff. They're not particularly zealous about protecting their hoard, though. But they will let you know if they want their thing back, and they will expect you to get out of the way. Admittedly, some of the stuff that they expect is theirs is problematic, especially if it's a food-motivated cat, which I have had. Food-motivated pets are difficult. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Yay. Oh, that was just the top of the workbench. Yeah. Yes. Nice. Did I get... Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't think I finished the stool. Excellent. There are a lot of little things in this workshop, which I kind of appreciate, actually. Lots more of those little serotonin dings. And it also breaks up the monotony of these large surfaces like the floors. Some of the maps, like it can be a little much working your way through a long wall or a long floor or ceiling. Dang. Sleigh. Whoa, that sack needs cleaning. Well, let's take care of that. Give this sack a good washing. How? Yes. Ryu has finally convinced me to check out RuneScape, which I was doing just before the stream. I'm just going to mark down this entire... yes. The problem with marking down the entire stream for quotes is that you have to go back and rewatch it to get them again. I'm pretty sure you do have this ability. This is why you have the ability to do stream markers. And I'm pretty sure you have it because I think I saw you use it before. Yeah, I might also be getting less careful with some of the stuff I say because I feel like enough of us have been here long enough now that we've gotten the introductions out of the way, we'll say. And I can be a little more open. Like, I'm not full on cursed like some streamers are, but I do say some cursed stuff from time to time because it's fun. If you came to watch A Perfect Princess, I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you eventually. Or may already have started doing so. So that Twitch or a Stream Elements thing. Twitch, I think I've given you the access to the stream, the ability to set a marker. That one I'm pretty sure is built in with mod access. Then again, I thought the same for polls, but you know. Oh, but actually I can, while I can't make polls, I can make stream markers. I'm pretty sure I gave you the ability to make markers, or gave mods the ability to. I can't remember if I expanded that to VIPs. I think I can only expand to VIPs if I do it from Stream Elements, so if I can't recall, then I probably didn't. Welcome back. You're just, you know, missing me being less than a gentleman. That's all. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, what was I saying? I forgot. Oh, RuneScape. Rayo got me into RuneScape recently. And by recently, I mean like immediately before the stream. So, like, I just created my first account ever, first character ever. And I'm checking it out. A game that is, well, it's not as old as I am, but it certainly is pushing it. I'm pretty sure RuneScape's old enough to drink. So yeah, I'm gonna try that out for a bit. We'll see if anything becomes streamable from that, or if that's just gonna be a me futzing around on the side for the fun of it. Naturally, if I decide to stream it, I'll let you know. But I already had one MMO that I wanted to stream. Like, I want to get back into Final Fantasy. So, briefly, I toyed with the idea of just grinding my way through the Final Fantasies, but I think that would take more time than I have in existence. So, I'll have to think carefully on that one. Ooh, all right, where is the filth on this bench? It must be underneath. Yeah, there you are. That's done, that's done, this is done, that is done, this is done. Oh, no, it's not done. Where are you? Yes, yes, spot a fit there. Really? Okay. Hello, set a record for the tutorial 2. 2001's the first release. Welcome on in. 1, 2, 3, 4, U55. That's a name. I'm almost curious what inspired that name. But yeah, welcome on in. Make yourself comfortable. This isn't my normal streaming night, so I'm just chilling with you guys and killing time with a bit of a one-off game. Normally I do Wednesday evening streams at the same time. And I'm currently working through Ori and the Blind Forest. But because I've been doing that on Wednesdays, I want to make sure it stays on the day where those people have availability. So yeah, that's the only reason I'm not playing Ori tonight. Because, you know, people have been along for the ride, and I want to make sure they're able to stay for the entire ride. You know, within reason. We're not going to D&D this thing and try and organize the date for everyone to show up each time. Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Santa needed some extra help after Christmas, so he hired a werewolf. Yes, and you would think that this would be a problematic job for me, being as floofy as I am. I assure you, the only thing that's problematic is putting on the suit. And the suit is necessary. For those of you who have a bit more fluff, you might have experience with just how problematic it can be when you get soaked, and how much heavier you get when when your fur is waterlogged. So yeah, a power washing job when you're this fluffy can definitely be problematic. You wear the suit for a reason. It's not just to protect you from the chemicals. It's to protect you from basically having to become a power lifter all the time when you start a job. Oh, oh, right, up top. There you go. Especially with the winter fluff. Yeah, the winter fluff is a wee bit denser, but so it can hold. The winter fluff, though, is actually a little better at repelling the water to an extent. If I fall in the water, it's still game over. You just learn to get really good swimming muscles. It's not entirely unlike wearing a suit of armor into water. It's just not a good idea. You also don't want to call it done, then have them come into... Yeah. It's a bit like painting yourself into a corner. And then there's the smell. Yeah, that's something. I try to be fresh and clean at all times, but unfortunately, natural oils and fur have a tendency to not be the most pleasant scent for people when they get wet. It's unfortunate, but you do what you can. Some people don't mind the smell of wet dog. And then they end up in my DMs. It's weird. Actually, speaking of DMs, the bots have apparently started their mass migration over to Blue Sky. I was getting DM'd by one of them actually just before I popped into started doing the RuneScape stuff. Yes, woof. And yeah, they just like someone just DM'd me out of the blue who like right after they followed me. Wait, did they follow me? Maybe they interacted with some of my content, and then just DM'd me like a hello, how are you? And I looked them up. Like I looked up their profile, and it looks like the standard like spammer profile, like spam profile for like VTuber asset creation. So I'm sure they just keyword searched and latched onto my Twitch like URL in one of my posts or something. And so they had that in their profile, but they had nothing else. They had a profile, they had a PFP, but they had no banner. They didn't have a single post, nor a single reply, or a single piece of media. They had absolutely nothing. And if your profile is all about how you create assets and you're open for commissions and such, you should probably have something to show off. Even if it's just to make you look like a more legitimate fake business. So, yeah, but because I try not to assume, as much as I like making asses out of everything. And it's random faves too. So they put more into it than the creepy FA hi. He follows those 3 words. Is the third word, is that the one that's actually just a couple of letters? Or maybe 2 or 3 letters, I should say. Yeah, I've been getting BS followers that look legit, but they are following like 800 people with only a few follow back. Yeah, I've been seeing those. Like I had a lot of those on Twitter. I don't miss them. So I'm gonna have to start looking into some of the bot blocking lists and subscribe to those, so I can kind of automate weeding those out ahead of time. That's one thing that I've really enjoyed about Blue Sky is that you can subscribe to a list for blocking accounts, and it's sort of like crowdsourced preemptive blocks, preemptive mute buttons. So it's very nice. Yeah, and they have all sorts that are being maintained by people or small communities. So, yep, yeah, exactly. So thankfully, I haven't had any of the naked lady spam accounts yet. I hope I can avoid those. Not a single like porn spam account for like non-female content ever hit me up. Like hundreds of female content, but you clearly they never looked at any of my likes or any of my content that I was sharing and posting. Otherwise, they would have known that they were just wasting their cycles. So, whatever. Idiots, I say. Idiots. Oh. Why did that look a bit like a skull? That's worrisome. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Barking up the wrong wolf. Wow, 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 wow. Shoot. Interesting. Looks like there's something hanging out under there. Made it easy to... Yeah, they were the easiest ones to weed out. Oddly, the ones that were advertising like VTuber asset and commissioning services, I had a harder time with those at first because I'm a little naive when it comes to what's a spam account, because I'm a little new to social media. I kind of existed on it, but haven't really been an active contributor on social media. I'm more of just an exister, a lurker. But as soon as you start being active at all, then the bots start showing up, and so I don't have enough practice yet identifying some of the more subtle scams. But yeah, I am picking up that these the VTuber ones are a scam, unfortunately, which is really annoying because I could really use some assets for streaming, and to have someone that's actually eager and reaching out like that would be very nice, but too good to be true. Blah, 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 blah. It's unsolicited. Yeah, good point. They really are like the new door-to-door salesman, aren't they? The new Kirby or encyclopedia salesman. For those that even know what that is in this chat. And if you do, AARP is going to be coming for you shortly. Santa's chair, candy cane. Oh, Santa. Okay, yes. So this is Santa's chair, and 4 elves can hang out with him. It's not as big a sweatshop as I expected. Interesting. Workshop floor. Which part of this floor did I not finish? Oh, probably over here by the sleigh. Yeah. Man, I'm glad I finished the main story campaign of this game, because like as you work through it, you get all the attachments, and so your spraying is a little more effective. Like this simple grime used to take so much effort to clean up, but now it's just sweep. I still don't think I'd want to play with a power washer in real life, though. Power washer, or whatever the other term is for it, because I guess this is technically not power washing. I forget what the difference was. I think the difference involved like hot water or something like that. Yells at clouds. That can be arranged. Having me play with a power washer? Yeah, I know it can be arranged. I know you've got one. Fretz likes to make use of it. I have nothing to power wash, though. I'm pretty sure if I took a power washer to anything in the place that I live, apartment management would have something to say about it. Or whatever neighbor whose window I have just busted. Because that's another thing this game is a little unrealistic about. Like, there's nothing that's fragile. And I'm pretty sure that if you were to, like, direct this at, like, something that is fragile, it would become problematic very quickly. So. I don't use this one very much. It tends to be pretty weak, but I guess it's kind of working. Yeah, this will pretty much finish up the floor here. This part of it. Oh, actually... Oh, because there's more under the sleigh. I see. Oh, there we go. One. One has different meanings depending on whose stream you're in. I kind of like the streamers who are just like, press 1 for, you know, if you would do this or something like that. At some point maybe I'll do that. If I do, maybe I'll make an emote for it, something like that. Give you something a little more fun to use than simply just typing 1 into the chat. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Blah 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 blah. What is this? Are we still in walking dog territory? Because I know we've wandered out of the original playlist. Bring this up over here. Playlist, please. Oh, yeah, this is not walking dog anymore. It's like, this is not there. It doesn't feel like them at all. Let me fix that. Albums. Let's do this one, please. Yeah. Let's pull that up. And please be random about it. Actually, maybe they don't want it to be random. After all, oops, didn't mean to do that. Artists, I'm sure musicians would like their tracks to be heard in a particular order. That's why they list them that way. Maybe not all of them, but, you know, sometimes. Yeah, that last song got a little too Nintendogs, and it just didn't... I was like, this doesn't feel right. What are you still grinding about? Oh, there you are. Oh, except I have to get to this one to get real close up. What? Why are you still not done? What have I missed? I disapprove. Oh, there you are. Okay. Not sure those brake lights on the sleigh are street legal. Well, luckily for you, or maybe the sleigh, this doesn't go on the streets. So, now they are certainly not the correct color for air traffic. I'm pretty sure one of them needs to be red and the other one needs to be blue, and I forget which, whether it was port that needed to be red or if it was starboard that needed to be red. But yeah. So yeah. Actually, I have been to 2015. I am familiar with the Skyways. Have you? Do we have Skyways in 2015? These channels. That's why NORAD tracks him every year. Yeah, good point, good point. So I guess, yeah, it's air travel. Well, they did when I took the DeLorean last time. Ah, yes. Yeah, I saw what happened the last time you took the DeLorean. It didn't come back. You brought a train back instead. Care to explain? Rail? Though I feel like saying your name kind of explains enough. Exactly. Have you read his name? But was it intentional? That, I guess, is the question. Did you intentionally bring back the train, or was that just coincidence? Is that just a circumstance of fate? Okay, look, it's not my fault people don't put 2 and 2 together. I see, I see. Try to do both. I did read your report. You did try to, have one push the other. That doesn't mean they're going to come back through, though, together. The theory needed a little extra work. The present wrapping machine immediately ceased up. What is the present? Oh. Wait, that's cheer checker. Present collection box. Oh, that might be the present wrapping machine. Bellowing with soot, it sent coal pellets flying in all directions. Ah, okay, that explains what all this is. All right, that makes sense. All of us immediately realized that we needed to do something. I would hope so. It'd be really concerning if some of you were just like, oh well, this is normal. The only problem was that nobody knew what that thing was. That's fair. That's very fair, honestly. Except Ivor. That makes sense. Ivor and Idea does seem like the kind of person who, as one of the primary inventors of the shop, does seem like the kind of person who might have an idea or two. I swear I already cleaned under here. But it feels like more grime just keeps appearing. Way too many naughty kids getting their presents all jammed up in under the slave's business. Someday I'll go back and get it. Or at least they knew enough to call the ware cleaner. Yes. Yep, I'm pretty thorough in my job. I may not be the speediest at my job, but you're going to get top-notch work. Especially since I have mystical powers that let me see crime. Like, look at all this. Boom. Get flashbanged. Let's see. Where are you hiding your grimace, your grime? Oh, there's some. You gotta be... Like, there can't be much left. Come on. Some on the channels. That's separate. Oh, right. Yes. Can I go? No, I can't go under here, but can do that. These vehicles that have undersides, they're a pain in the tail to clean. There's a reason mechanics shops have lifts for vehicles. Aside from that, it's kind of fun to just put something as large as a car up into the air like that. Or a sleigh in this case. These were separate pieces? Oh yeah, cushioned rim. Which means the seat needs more work. Right there. Right there in that crevasse. And probably over here as well then. Yep. That one's done. This is done. That's done. The sleigh itself. The sack is good. Maybe while I'm working on the channels, it will reveal itself. Cleared out. Come on. I didn't expect the sleigh to be this much trouble. You can get a quick job done cheap, and you can get a cheap job done quick, but you can't get a good job done cheap. Wait, what? You can't get a good job done cheap or quick. I think you mean cheap and quick. Yeah, the triangle that every project manager knows about budget versus time versus quality. Oh man, I am well versed in that, the iron triangle. I'm not I'm not certified as a project manager, but I am experienced as a project manager. Which is problematic. It means I can't, like, it's hard getting your foot in the door for a project manager job. You know what? Let me just clean something else, and then I'll find out whatever it is. Oh, actually, I do want to get this into the track at least. But yeah, it does mean it's difficult to get a foot in the door because, like, a lot of job application stuff is automated these days, and if you don't have one of their checklist items, then you don't get in. So, and so, like, I wouldn't mind doing something in project management, but I can't get the experience I need without getting into, like, a low level of project management job. And I can't get into one of those jobs without having some certification in it. And I'm not going to pay for those expensive certifications myself. I'd rather the job pay me for that if they really want me to do it. So we've got a bit of a bootstrapping issue. Yes. Cheap, fast, good. Pick two. Oh, speaking of picking, I gave in and did something which is not usually my style. Okay, those are both good. These are both... Oh, the track still has some schmutz in it somewhere. And I did something I don't normally do, but it was just because of, you know, the sheer volume of this thing. And that... I saw that. And that is, I actually bought a lottery ticket today. The jackpot for that thing is well over $1 billion. And I was just like, you know, it's worth a couple dollars to invest for a chance. This is not something I don't like playing the lottery. Like, there we go. That was easier pickings. Because it is really a poor tax. It's just them collecting money from those that don't already have money. Because we're all looking for... We all just want to escape the rat race. And that's like the... Oh, I saw that. And that's like the easiest way out, even though the odds are atrocious. So yeah, I actually put a few dollars, literally a few, into a ticket. So, yeah, I'm crossing my fingers for tomorrow night. I've only done that like 2 other times ever, I think, and that's usually whenever the bugger, the jackpot crossed like an exceptionally notable milestone. I definitely would never recommend anyone ever do that. Blah blah. But yeah, hey, cross your fingers for me. I would love to be able to not just focus on this, but like so much. There's a lot of people I'd like to help, and I can't. And I've tried, and my bank account says you got to stop doing that. And I'd like to be able to tell my bank account get stuffed, like literally, and then bugger off. But I can't. Not yet. Not while I have bills to pay. So, stuff to do. What? Do. What? As you might have guessed, I was not successful in the past on any of those previous attempts. I've been working on security-related items at work during the holiday weeks while people have been away. I feel like I might have mentioned this last week, but yeah, people don't appreciate when I start digging into security items because I'm, just as with this job, I am thorough and am not in any hurry to complete the work because I want it to be done properly. Whereas they, like, as soon as I bring it up, they're done talking about it and they don't want to hear anything more about it because it's, you know, it's a lot of work. It can be a lot of stress, and it's super tedious. All things I don't mind doing. But yeah, I've been working on security stuff recently, and tomorrow I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I had put together that I wish to test out, and the QA team is going to enjoy hearing from me. To be fair, like, I could test it myself, but they, for some reason, want to do the test. Like, they feel like they should be the ones doing all the testing and coordinating all of it because they want to make sure they get paid, I guess, for it. But the stuff that I need them to test, they generally don't have the expertise for it, and then I end up doing all the work for them, and then they're stuck along for the ride because they've forced themselves into the position. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be fun. Yes, this is the one I want. May I have a time check, please? I don't think I've hit my time yet, but I still don't want to leave Ojika. Okay. Not as far off as I thought, though. And I want to. There's nothing. One of the few things worse. Where did I put my English? It's gotta be around here somewhere. Ah, there it is. There are a few things worse in the world than waiting to be picked up somewhere, especially after a very long trip. So, Chika, he's had a very long trip, so I don't want him waiting any longer than necessary for his pickup to return home. At the sound of the tune, the time will be exactly 10:35 p.m. It's not a bong, it's a glass sculpture. There was the sound of the tone. I see. Yes. I am so used to writing and reading in 24-hour time that I find that I actually have to spend an extra mental cycle figuring out the conversion from PM back into 24 hours. Which, for technical purposes, that's just fine. That's great. For conversational purposes, it's a little problematic sometimes. Yeah, before they legalized marijuana in New York State, or certain aspects of it, there used to be shops that would sell paraphernalia, and they called themselves glass shops, and they would sell glass sculptures, and they didn't sell the material that would be used in a glass sculpture. Not that you would use material in a sculpture. That's not what a sculpture is for. Instead, they would, give you something and then sell you like something as similar to an NFT, really, just like a little piece of cheap art or postage stamp or something like that, so that they had something to legalize the exchange of money without using the thing that was illegal for the exchange. But yeah, those places call themselves glass shops or head shops, and I did not understand that. I am a naive floof in so many ways. That was a fun learning experience. Wandering into a glass shop one day, like looking for some sort of knick-knack gift, and realizing this is not what I thought it was. Where's the schmutz? Where's the grime? There you are. Oh yes, and up there as well. Yeah, those in North Carolina. In fact, used to be, you could tell you were getting close to Asheville. You saw them being sold in gas. Yes. Yeah, actually, Michigan. When I was driving through, last time I was driving through in Michigan this past summer, they had billboards advertising dispensaries all over the place. Like not around the cities either, like way out in the countryside, which was really surprising, honestly. The noises, like not entirely unlike Marge Simpson's disapproving like grunts or like those noises. Those noises were coming out of my mom like when she first saw those billboards, mostly for just how many there were. It was certainly a plethora of them. I didn't clean the bunting entirely yet. There we go. And what on the grotto wall is not cleansed? What is not clean? Let's get up on the sack. Probably will find it up here. Oh, actually, why bother with that? That's what I have this thing for. Where do I want to put it? I guess there. This side. Oh, and I need to. There we go. Close quarters. What? Seriously? That wasn't enough? All right, well, it was enough for that. Where? Oh, there we go. Oh, and there it is. It's behind the bunting. That's cheap. That's mean. All right. Nope. I want this one. And then this. I was about to apologize for mumble singing over the music. And then I realized this music is free. If you really want to hear it, you can go and find it yourself. And I like to support Walking Dog. So, like, but yeah, it is literally free. Like, they've got it on most platforms. So, fine. I didn't need those ankles. Wait. Oh, there you are. I was gonna say, why are you not clean? Clean. Simple and clean is the way. Wait, no. I should play Kingdom Hearts on stream too at some point. That is easily in my wheelhouse. And I did recently get the versions that are sold on Steam. Because when I first played, I was playing it on PS2, or in a couple of cases, the ones that were like on my 3DS. And when they did the re-releases, the remasters and re-releases on Steam, they did a little bit of reorganization. So I guess the storyline makes more sense. They like consolidated a few of the games, I guess. And just did a little reorg. So I'm kind of looking forward. I'm interested in trying out the Steam versions of Kingdom Hearts to see like if the story is a little less obtuse after the reorg. Because it's all over the place. Oh, that's a cool painting. Wait. It's like little puppies. Cute. Didn't expect that in here. Wow, wow. All right. I think that's everything on this wall. Oh, never mind. The bunting didn't get it, but it did now. All right. What do we got left that's down at the lower level? Some of the floor over here, some of the presents. Really, I thought it was pretty well known fact that Santa is a dog person. Is it? I know he's a servant person. And he's also a fan of the little people. I mean, he's not like the queen in the... Yeah. The queen's corgis. Probably some of the most pampered pooches in the world. She had more than corgis. Most people forget that, actually. The corgis were the famous ones. I look forward to someday having a place where I feel less guilty about having a pup. I'm definitely... because I want a larger dog. And I am certainly not going to get a dog while I live in an apartment. Like, apartments are good for tiny breeds, but for like larger dogs, they need a lot of space to be able to run around in and you know, exercise. Can't do that with an apartment. I'd also like to be able to let the dog out rather than take the dog out if I could. You know, kind of like what we used to do on the farm. The dogs just kind of roamed around as they needed to, and you didn't have to have them on a leash. You didn't have to excessively clean up after them, because it was on the farm, honestly. Although I'm not going to be living on a farm. But yeah. Let's see. But you always see pics of him giving puppies for Christmas. Do you? I don't think I've seen too many pics of Santa giving away puppies. Did you make a lot of pictures for your mom to... trying to convince your parents to give you puppies for Christmas? Is that what happened? Vocal dogs and apartments don't mix. Yeah. My neighbors never did much to cotton to it. Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, I don't. I try and keep quiet. I'm honestly surprised that my neighbors haven't gotten after me for streaming after hours like I do after quiet hours. So I'm assuming that means they've caught on to that. I want a dog, not a barking cat. The barking cats. Yes. Processing machine. Decoration. I wouldn't mind a machine that automatically wraps presents for me. Like, I like what I can make, but I definitely get... it's very time consuming to wrap things nicely. Oh no, my dad was nuts about beagles. We always hit nice. Beagles are fun. Noisy as heck, but they're fun. Very playful, very bouncy, floppy. Very small. I was always a little careful around beagles. They always felt fragile to me. But, you know, when you're as big as I am, anything feels fragile. Or most things, I should say. So, that's another reason I would prefer to have a bigger dog. So I can wrestle with him. I don't necessarily need to ride him in the battle, but... Our last one was a 17-inch beagle. 17-inch. I'm used to dogs being measured in weight, not in inches. 17 inches, almost a way to say like he was tiny. Can I get that from over here? Yes. Nice. Okay. Looking good. I want a mastiff. What kind of mastiff? They do look like they'd be fun pups. You definitely need to, like, mastiffs, unfortunately, you probably need to be, for most of them, you'd have to be, like, not in a, well, certainly not in an apartment setting, and definitely, preferably someplace where there aren't a lot of people around. Large breed, and I'm already housebroken. Are you now? I think I'll have to check your references. American Mastiff, short muzzle, so less. Every dog drools. There's no escaping the drool, I'm sorry. Well, I suppose you did say less drool, not no drool. And the drool might be a way to keep some people away. But most mastiffs don't drool like faucets. And beagles drool, yeah. I'm having flashbacks to the movie Turner and Hooch, where that was like a bulldog, though, wasn't it? I forget exactly what Hooch was, but yeah, that was always a fun part in the movie where every time the dog shook, just a sprinkler of drool everywhere. Let's see. Oh, didn't get every part of you somehow. Oh, there you are. Here's your filthy side. Filthy presents full of filthy things. Wait. Oh, there's more filth. There you go. I didn't realize the elves were packing bad dragon stuff. Also, I should switch to this if I'm going to be up close and personal with them. So you've got some stuff on you somewhere. That looks like it right there. And you still got some stuff. Maybe it's on the underside. So you have an underside. When we had things like quail, it would trip something in them. They were this drool. I see. At least they only drooled. There we go. One of my former teammates, he has a oh shoot, he's a big dog. What kind of dog is he? He's got a nice brindle coat as well. I think boxer. Got a boxer, a cute boxer with a brindle colored coat. And when he moved to Florida and he made himself, he found himself a new lady friend. He eventually moved on to his lady friend's farm, and she has chickens and ducks. And it started becoming a problem where my friend's dog was going after the birds. So I'm not sure what came of that. I know it can still be a problem, though. I'm aware, or at least I think it's still a problem. But yeah, I need to check in. I need to ask him, like, So what happened with that? What was the arrangement that we came with? To be fair, the pup had gotten used to living in like in the suburbs in a suburban household. That was his first time being on a farm, let alone being in a place that had small creatures that didn't defend themselves with claws of their own. Because like he's lived with cats, but not with ducks and chickens. That's when you buy a goose. Yeah, geese are definitely bastards. Can they defend themselves though against a boxer, or do they just make a lot of noise and pretend to, and just try to be intimidating? Because they're certainly intimidating and messy. Seriously though, geese are purchased to protect ducks and chickens. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Roosters are supposed to be, protecting the chickens as well. Mm-hmm. Alternatively, some of the there are some dogs that are well suited for farm life. They're like the herding types, or what is this? What is this? It's not schmutz, it's just something clipping through. Okay. They're the herding types, so they're better, better suited for farm life. They tend to treat things more gently. These being things like golden retrievers and or labs in general are generally much gentler when it comes to smaller creatures, which is why they're one of the big reasons why they're preferred as like family dogs. At least in the US they are. As a matter of fact, if you ever, in any sort of American advertising, if they include a dog, it's almost always a golden lab or a golden retriever. They've become like the quintessential American dog. Do, 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 do. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, are they energetic in a lot of space? Yeah, and then there are like various types of shepherd dogs, which can also be pretty good with animals, smaller animals. This doesn't help that Golden they traded brain cells for heart. It's accurate. Wags, do you wish to defend yourself? If you're still in chat. Or Wags is a golden lab. It does help to train them and raise them up around animals. Though. Yeah. Almost every dog can be, if they're raised in the right environment, they're socialized properly, they'll be perfect for anything. And heck, that even works for cats. If they're socialized and raised in the right environment, they'll behave like that. And that's how you end up with like cats that act like dogs. That's just how they were raised. They didn't quite get all the cat training manual that many others get. At the sound of the tone, it will be 22:55. Ding. The problem with that kind of message is it really expects me to read it as soon as you send it. Also, there is stream lag. Not as bad today. I've not dropped too many frames, which is great. But thank you for the warning. It does mean that I do need to find a stopping point and start winding down, though. So, I think what I'll do is when I complete whatever this cheer checker machine is, this particular piece here, so it dings, that might be when I stop. And I think that might be here. Yep, I think that was it. Okay. I just want to get that little bit, just that little bit. There's another reason that I had people helping keep track of time, because I have a bad habit of continuing with the game. Look at all of this that we've cleaned up. It looks great. Just don't look up. Santa's sack is nice and clean. Sleigh has something hiding in it somewhere. No idea where. But we'll find it eventually. Like, I'm pressing the button that's supposed to make grime glow. And I'm seeing nothing on the sleigh that's... or nothing that's obvious to me that's glowing. Oh wait, there's something. There's something. Oh, but it wasn't enough. Damn it. This sleigh is going to be probably very frustrating for me. You can see me flashbang in the rest of the room. Where is it? Where is the schmutz? I wish I can go underneath and find it because I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Wait. God damn it. It wasn't that. Oh, the sleigh and the sleigh base are separate. So there's multiple pits of... All right, you know. All right, you know what? Get out of here. Stop it. You're distracting yourself. So your water, you'll hit it eventually. Yeah, it's a lot to hit. And I'm very sure it's underneath wherever it is. Like, in the later maps, there was this issue where some of the places where two pieces joined together would hold grime that apparently was there, even though nothing flashed when I was highlighting it. It would hold grime that was, like, invisible to the eye. Yep, I did it. Okay, sleigh's done. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Why are you not done? It's the little pieces that bother me the most. All right, I keep saying it. So, blah blah blah. Quit. Back here. Yeah, games like that are a problem for me because I will keep going and going and going, and then eventually it's 5 a.m. and there are a bunch of angry people. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out with this off-schedule stream. As far as I'm... Thank you. Be careful, I might smack you for that one. My alarm doesn't... my alarm gets that treatment every morning when it does that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, next week I don't think there's any reason I shouldn't be able to stream on Wednesday, on New Year's Day. Smart ass. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to stream on New Year's Day. So I will plan to be back doing Ori on Wednesday next week. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the US time. I think the only other country that has an Eastern time zone is Australia. But they've been trying to move to a different name for their time zone anyway, so I shouldn't have to worry too much about overlap. You will never survive my house. There's a minimum of 4 clocks in every room. Is it that I won't survive your house, or your house won't survive me? Nah, I've stayed in places where the house is full of clocks, and not to the extent that I've seen your place, but definitely a few clocks. Yeah, so I'm familiar with it, and I get used to it, but it's certainly not a place I would stay for more than like a night. It gets very distracting. Especially when some of those older clocks go off like every 15 minutes. I don't know. That's too distracting for me. I would never be able to work in that environment. Constantly being aware of the time like that. So yeah. The three of it, yeah, I'm not surprised. Let's see. Bring me my... Actually, bring me my channel. I'll go from there. And from here, let's pull up the raid browser, because I do want to raid out this time. Who's streaming tonight? There's a lot of people doing Power Wash. And I don't know any of them. What if I do... I want it to be someone I'm following, for starters. Nuclear Nightmare, do not know. Papa. Drop you off in Frey stream. Actually, raid Shadow Legends. Thankfully, I don't know Shadow Legends, and therefore I won't be raiding them. Let's see. Just sort of. Is it Cinder by chance? Because I was actually just looking at Cinder. It looks like they just started a few minutes ago. That's the one? Okay, yeah, let's go hit up. It sounds like I got a second. So, yeah, let's go hit up. Let's see. So, let's see. A proud Canadian Phoenix. Oh. Happy Boxing Day. Let's see. Emoji. And please give me this. Copy. Paste of this. Yes. This might be one of the higher priority things I want. I want my own damn emotes. I want to be able to, well, like, pop into someone's channel with these raids with my own emotes. So we box with some. Let's see, happy box. I think I'm going to modify that a little bit. Happy Boxing Day. Let's see. Oh, how do I put it? The day to return your furry trash. See ya. Actually, you know what? I think I might go with something closer to what you have. I've brought some furry trash to box up for return. There we go. It's a long message, but whatever, it's fun. How do you feel about that? Yeah. I don't want to, like, this, that furry trash icon is awesome. Unfortunately, I can't, I don't know if everyone else has it. All right. So yeah, let's do that. Let's crash into Cinder's stream. Especially since he's just about to start the song. This is the perfect time to harass him. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna head on over. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. I know it's an off schedule stream, and honestly, I'm happy that like so many of you showed up today. I very much appreciate it. So I will see you next week on New Year's Day, Wednesday, at the latest. So, and until then, stay warm, stay well, and I will see you soon. Bye.